And next on the programme, detectives are hunting a gunman who shot two men at close range in Nottingham. They believe that he opened fire while he was in the same car as his victims in Topvalley last night. They were found with serious injuries on a street around a mile away. Our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball reports.
Slowly, painstakingly piecing together the aftermath of a double shooting. This is where the two victims were found late last night at Bulwell Hall. They'd both been shot in the legs and dumped beside a busy road.
I just heard shouting, didn't know what it was and whatever, so looking out window and armed police are running around and all this lot.
Well, it's getting disgusting, but what can we do? The government ain't going to do out, are they? They're too soft.
For investigators, questions: who was the gunman and why did he open fire? They believe he shot his victims a short distance away off Hucknall Road in Topvalley while they were all in the same car. Police say the victims were in their 20s and 30s. They're both being treated in hospital for what's being described as single gunshot wounds. Detectives believe this was a targeted attack and they're appealing for information.
If anybody saw anything, if anybody's got any dash cams in any vehicles at the time, if they were passing this area approximately just before midnight last night, we believe that they knew the suspects. They are fortunate on the area where they've actually been shot, so it's not caused any serious long-term injuries for them.
But the police say there'll be extra patrols over the next few days to reassure people who live here, and they're focused now finding the attackers who'd fled before officers arrived.
In the studio now. So this shooting happened in an area where there's been quite a big push to tackle gun crime.
Yeah, and we've talked before about Operation Reacher now. That began in response to a number of shootings around Topvalley and Bestwood several years ago. And Nottinghamshire police think that's been a huge success in tackling organised criminals. In fact, you might remember just last Friday, a local drugs ring from that area were given long prison sentences. Now, the problem is, of course, you take dealers off the streets, you often get a feud as other people try to fill the void. I think police are bound to be looking at whether last night's attack might be that kind of thing, or whether it might be a punishment shooting, for instance. Whatever the reason, I think it's worth saying that gun crime in Nottingham is so much less common these days than it used to be.
Well, at least that's a good thing. Jeremy, thanks very much for that.